to the channel, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the truck review. Maybe some of you did. Appreciate you all watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers and everybody who continue watching my channel. You know, all the old subscribers too. You never want to forget you guys have been hanging around. We're going to go look at the garlic. Thought I might show you the garlic today. I thought I might show you a few of my Coleman lanterns. Now I'm gonna go ahead and warn you that corn crib, I made it into a tool shed years ago, and you can see it's got a lot of stuff in it, guys. So y'all don't kill me too much when you see the inside of it. But we'll go out here. I want to show you the garlic. If you remember, we planted it with the planter. Will and Sammy dropped it in the sword, and we're gonna go out here and show you what it looks like. Looks like Ellie's on his own little project here. What are you doing?
It's got moisture on the spark plug itself.
It's got moisture on the plug. So you see how clean that plug is?
Yeah, I'm looking at the other one too.
He thinks he has a head gasket, which I tend to agree with him, but I told him to be sure, pull the plug out before you take the head off. So if it does have a water leak into that head gasket, then that plug is going to be pretty clean. And as you guys seen, that plug was right clean.
Got water on the plug. When I pulled it out, I looked at it, had water on the plug.
Had water on the plug, huh? Is that the only two it's showing a misfire on?
Yes. P0, I think P001, P003.
Mm-hmm. And if, guys, if you haven't noticed, I think I put a thing up. Ellie got him a new car, so now he feels like he can work on his truck again without missing a ride to work.
I can't get this spark plug out. There you go, got it. Yeah, sounds clean too.
Oh man, yeah, guys, spark plugs that clean, that's not good.
It's shooting white smoke out between.
Yeah, well, you know it's a head gasket from those two. All right, continue on. Let's walk out here. So it looks like one of the reasons I didn't say nothing about it when I did it, I subsoiled this bean patch. And one of the reasons why I did, it was holding water pretty bad when I plowed it. It was holding it in the ditches. But subsoiling it and leaving it flat seems to be the trick. Doesn't hold a whole lot of water. Had a little bit in it after we had 2.5 inches from that hurricane, and it had a little bit of water the first day, but as you can see, it's gone. Man, is okra resilient or what? This thing is, I was hoping to let them dry down on the stalk, which that one's drying down, and I wanted these to die on the stalk and get the seeds out of them, and they went through about 3 frosts, and last night was real hard on them, and they still about halfway green, so hopefully they'll turn brown pretty soon. Let's look at this garlic here, Will. Took a Holland transplanter and we dropped the garlic through the swords and let it come up. And as you can see here, garlic. Somebody dropped 2 there. Garlic. Now I do see a little head coming up here. Garlic. I realize that you could be, it's about the distance. And by the way, I brought this with me for replants in case I seen like a big section missing. But I'll be honest with you, I think we're just gonna leave it like that. It is gonna be about this much in between some, but you know what? I think a little more breathing room might make for a bigger bulb. We'll see. But I am tickled to death with that. Come on down through here, Will. Now here's a spot. From here to here, there's nothing. I don't see an indication of anything. So let's throw a couple in there. Now, one of the things I was worried about when we planted that with the planter, we just did that, and it, went in any which way. But since I'm doing it by hand here, I'll do that. All right, let's go on down through here a little bit. And the reason why I'm a little bit hesitant of putting every little spot I see, because like right here, here's one coming up, there's one coming up, and that's pretty decent right there. And there's one, but there's nothing here, but that's fine. I'm gonna leave that. This little indention here is where the cups from the planter come up. So there should have been one here, and it is now. But I will say this, it's probably more garlic than I will ever need. So I am tickled to death with this stand. I mean, it is a good stand of garlic. It's in the center of the row, and come next spring, I should be able to cultivate it with the rolling cultivators real nice. I'm gonna plant a little bit. All right, guys, I wouldn't have to do this, but I got some garlic that was getting a little mold on it, and so I'm gonna find a place for them instead of wasting them. But I went and got since we planted it with the Holland planter, here's what I used to replant tobacco plants with. We're gonna use it. So I see I had come up to about right here. So what we'll do, we'll just make a hole, put one in it, a little dirt over top. Make a hole, a little dirt over top. It ain't too hard. That's why I love beds. Oh man, I love them. You can do something like that and just do it real quick. I'd say, I mean, really honestly, guys, if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to touch this. It would have been more garlic than I needed. I'm just doing it more because I got a bucket full of it. Figure while we're at it, might as well just do it. Winter is here, or at least deep fall. And I know I got some subscribers probably up in Michigan and Washington State and cold weather saying, man, he ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, you're right. But it's all what your body's used to. I'm not as bad in December after I get to having to work in it a while. See, I have to be careful because there's a lot of it still coming up. Like you see there's one right there. And so I have to be careful, like if I'm gonna fill this little spot in here, that there's not one there already. I like raising this garlic. John, thank you. This is a fun little thing. Is I don't even really eat it. Oh sure, I use garlic powder, something like that, but a jug of garlic powder would last me a year. All right, we got that pegged out. I added a few extra ones in there, just had this many left right here, so just trying to do something with it. What's your problem?
Yeah, just,
it's an arrowhead.
Yeah, the tip of one.
Man, I used to see them things cultivating all the time, and you're just so busy you didn't even have time to stop and get them. When I was younger, you didn't appreciate that. Speaking of younger, yes, I get a lot of comments about the tractor reminding folks of when they were young and missing those days. Most of 99% of those comments will end with, man, I miss those days. And I do too, guys, don't get me wrong. But I think the tractor, it's not so much the tractor you miss. The tractor's a fond memory, but the tractor stirs memories of a simpler time in days gone by. And I think that's probably what we miss more than anything, is just a simpler time. And I say that knowing that if we were back in those days, you wouldn't be watching this video now, because we didn't have that. And but I think that's probably what it is. It's just missing the simpler times. But speaking of simpler times, let's go show you a few things that were invented for simpler times. This is my Lockheed Martin Skunk Works invention to hold a door. It's worked for about 15 years. So speaking of simpler times, we'll get in here and let's see what the light looks like on camera.
It's good.
Looks all right?
Yeah.
So I've been a collector of Coleman lanterns, guys, and pretty much Coleman anything. And part of my problem here in this shed is so much stuff like this on job sites. I just can't bring myself to leave that. It's generally in a trash pile, and I pick these things up. So, like this lantern here. This was a little lantern I picked up, I'm sure, at a yard sale somewhere. It's a little dual mantle, small dual fuel lantern. There's all kinds of lanterns out there. Truth be told, in a push, you could probably run gasoline in any gas lantern. It would just clog up the generator quicker than if it was made for dual fuel. Dual fuel lanterns, yes, they run unleaded gas and they run the white gas, but non-dual fuel lanterns, they will run gasoline, but they just won't run as long. They're not made for it, but they will do it, but they're not made for it. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and do it. I'm just saying. We got a couple of lanterns here. Like this one I've never opened. Got it years back. It's a Coleman kerosene lantern. I've got Coleman stoves. Some stoves I have to rebuild. There's another one I haven't opened, which is a dual fuel lantern. I think in here may be one that I restored. I think it is. And then again, it may not be. No, this is just another little 220. So something about Coleman lanterns is, and I got to get my glasses on for this, guys. This is a little 200A. 200A lanterns can be red and green. I'm not no lantern total expert, but this is a nice little lantern here. I probably need to do some work on it. But the Coleman lanterns on the bottom of them, this is July of 1960. So that's 7/6. And what I always think is pretty neat to do is seeing if you can find one that's your birth month and year. I do have a 1071 in the RV. I actually burn it a lot when we go camping, and I think I have a 200A in there too. I had a lantern that I restored and made an IH. I call it my IH lantern. I'm trying to see where it was at. A lot of these, my better lanterns, I have in cases and bags. Like here's a lantern. I think it's new old stock, and it's probably, wow, what we got on that? That was not in the box. Let's see. Yes, get it out here. Yeah, so this is new old stock, never been ran. I can tell from the generator that it's never been lit. It's a 286, a one mantle lantern. Love the little booger. Let's see when it was made, guys. Wow, November of 1995. That's almost 25 years ago, right off the bat. Not too far off from being 25 years ago. So we were talking about simpler times. I guess what I always liked about the Coleman lanterns, because you had to have it whenever well, I didn't say you had, well, I say you had to, but they had lanterns for houses, and that's how you would light your house. And I fell in love with them, not so much because of the camping ability. I just like the light they put off and the simplicity in them. Like here's one I'm sure that I got from some yard sale somewhere. The globe was busted out. All of this stuff, I can fix every bit of this. This is a April of 1978. It's a 220J. I have these cook stoves here. I mean, these two are working cook stoves. They're fine. And I think this one's working too, but these two I need to do some work on. This is actually a Sears cook stove. Here is a, yeah, now this is gonna be a little older. Yep, February of 71. So I can tell you it is 51 years old. Probably picked it up because it was a 71, my birth year. It is February. And again, I just probably need to do some, take it apart, clean it, make sure the check valve's okay, and just do some work on it. I do keep, you know, a few extra globes and what have you. I'm pretty sure, and it's just in a trash bag, and we'll get them out again one day this spring. I'll get them all out and show you guys, take them out of the bags. I like the little single burner cook stoves. I have rebuilt them. This one is 19, it's October of 63. Come with the case doubled as a frying pan and a boiling pot. You just can't beat that. Simplicity. But you gotta have, and let's see if I can show you here, you gotta have the stuff to work on it. Yes, I know my shed's rough, guys, but you know what? Everybody's shed is. So I try to keep some extra mantles, little fuel filters. These are little extra caps, like these go to a 220. That's a generator right there for a cook stove. And some of these things, you got to have the tools to work on them. Like these little socket things here, they're made to take some of the parts off. This thing here, this is made to go inside the tank. Need to hit that with some steel wool. It's made to go inside the tank and put a crescent wrench right there. Somebody must have been calling me, Will. And take the check valve out. So the little check valves inside of them you got to take out. I try to keep generators, a few extra generators on hand. That socket you seen just a second ago, guys, is made to take that out of the tank. There's some generators. I think these are probably, yeah, these are for 288, 286 models. I don't do it as much as I used to. Matter of fact, I hadn't rebuilt one in a long time. These would do your 220s. That's a pretty popular generator there. That's probably why I got more of those than anything. 200, so that would be for your little red 200As. And I have some extra valves and suctions in here. Let's see, this is going to go, it would be like that in the lantern. But anyway, and I do have appreciation for some older axes. Primary Collins brand axes. I always thought they were real good axes. I collect a few of those, and I had a hewing a hewing head somewhere. Oh, here it is. I picked this up somewhere. I'm not sure where it was at, but it's a hewing head. I wouldn't mind getting it all fixed up. So yeah, simpler times, simpler times. So, hope you like the lanterns. We were talking about simpler times. I just like older stuff like that. Hopefully here, next video, we'll either do something cooking. I am going to take apart those rolling cultivators. I kind of need to get the rest of this table cleaned off. I'll get this line put out, get the table cleaned off so we can take it apart and look at it. And if you guys, some of you guys that have some welders and some stuff and you want to try to make you a set, you'll know what it takes to make a set, and we'll just go from there. Thank you everybody for tuning in. God bless you. God loves you. Appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you on the next one.